High-rise buildings make up a significant part of Singapore's skyline. With such an expansive repertoire of condominiums in the city, architects need to constantly think outside the box.
In terms of high-rise condominium design in Singapore, the architects here are designing at a very high level. I make it a point to visit other projects, whether it's in the US and Europe. And I think architects here are doing a fantastic job.
Standing tall along Lincoln Road, Lincoln Modern's design was born out of a need to respond to a very tight site.
There were issues to be addressed, issues of the brief by the developer, which was to have a design of lofts to be very efficient. Of course, there are site constraints and also the desire to impose a strong conceptual framework. So the issue really is how you pull all these different elements together to make a very coherent and clear building while fulfilling the developer's brief.
However, after deciding on small loft living, the architects still had a problem. They needed a smart, efficient, and unique way to configure the spaces of each apartment. In most high-rise buildings, apartments are simply stacked one on top of another. However, Chan Soo Kian couldn't do that here without wasting space. He decided to shape the apartments into an L and interlock two apartments together, thus creating a unique configuration.
The loft spaces were conceptualized to be L-shaped, and then we stacked them in an interlocking manner. So one of the units would come in on the top level, have a space and be able to access the living room on the lower level. The other unit would come in on the living room, access the bedroom space on the upper level.
Given the tight site and the need for a certain number of apartments, this unique configuration was able to yield maximum results without carelessly wasting precious space.
The concept of the interlocking L-shaped spaces solves a few issues. First of all, it's an efficient solution in the sense that when you interlock the two L-shaped spaces, you're able to enter the apartments in the middle. Thereby, you can have a lobby for every 3 floors. By having a lobby for every 3 floors, you create an efficient building because then the common spaces can be utilized for several areas in the apartment.
Designing the L-shaped apartments was no easy feat, as it required more than just good aesthetic sensibility.
I think the challenge during the design process was really trying to fulfill the design brief and yet fit the brief, which is marketing driven in terms of size and product, into almost a mathematical solution for the building. Because when you want a very clear building based on interlocking spaces, you have to almost work the brief into an algorithm.
Chan Soo Kian wanted to translate the efficiency of the interlocking apartments to the facade of Lincoln Modern. He harnessed the concept of symmetry to create a chic, almost industrial look.
In terms of the expression of the facade, it has symmetry on one side and is asymmetrical on the other side. And the facade is mainly generated by the arrangement of the unit plans. The other elements of the facade are utilitarian, the lift shafts, staircases, escape staircases. Those are the components that we used that generate the facade of the building. In terms of the precision of the building, it came from a desire for craft, to express the facade in a manner that expresses workmanship and craft.
Even functional aspects were integrated cleverly into the symmetrical facade. In most condominiums, fire escape stairs are hidden away. However, here they are displayed prominently and worked into the design of Lincoln Modern's facade.
There are 2 fire escapes. One of the staircase we express as being quite industrial, very open, but that's very much in line with the overall concept of the building, the concept of being very rational and being very clear in the expression of the components. We did not want to hide the parts, but we wanted to express how the building was made.
The second staircase was at the front of the apartment.
The second staircase runs down in a straight flight every 3 floors. And that was created from a desire actually to make the long escape staircase as a major component in the building facade. That long staircase is cantilevered off the concrete wall, and then we created a box louver around it.
The result is an intricate network of lines and angles that lend Lincoln Modern its minimal yet refined look. For architect Chan Soo-kian, it was important that the facade was not trendy but timeless.
In terms of the facade design of a building, I believe that facade is not fashion where you can clothe the skin over the building and you have many options. The facade in a way should be a direct expression of the brief and components of the building. And in order to make a building very clear, you can actually take different components of the facade, for example, the lift core or the staircase, and use that expression of what's on the inside to become the elevation of the building.
In order to achieve a seamless look for the entire building, Chan Soo-kian made sure to carry through certain elements such as color and texture in the lobby's landscape.
We used hand-rubbed stainless steel tile for some of the reflective pools. And that stainless steel tile, by being hand-rubbed, gives different refraction when it's filled with water. The stainless steel pool creates a sparkling effect, and the color of stainless steel ties in very well with the anodized aluminum. When you get to a pool level, by the landscape areas, we use black volpata stone. It's a desire to create a dark reflective surfaces.
It is said that necessity is the mother of invention, and here the architect has definitely overcome spatial constraints by focusing on the functionality and allowing the aesthetics to follow naturally.
We have this opportunity in Singapore with the climate and regulations to push the envelope, and we should really take advantage of it. There's not many countries where climate allows you to look at landscape in a vertical manner. So if you look at a lot of buildings being done here, sky terraces and vertical landscape becomes almost a norm.
Lincoln Modern stands as a testament to how Singapore's land scarcity issues can be solved with some ingenious and creative design solutions. High-rise living has always been touted as an efficient yet luxurious alternative to landed housing. And instead of conforming to stale, run-of-the-mill designs, these architects have shown that there can be constant innovation in the design of condominiums. They are continuing to push boundaries, dreaming up spirited designs that befit sky-high living.